how do you swear at someone politely in Mandarin? Well, let me tell you a story. A couple of years ago, I was interning at the Australia-China Chamber of Commerce in Beijing. Now, every year they run an event called the Ball on the Wall, which, as you can imagine, is a gala evening on the Great Wall of China. Pretty cool, right? It's basically a huge networking event to help business people from Australia, China, and around the world to do business in the region. And it's the biggest event on the Chamber's annual calendar. So on the day, we were at the Great Wall preparing for the event in the evening. Me, being the fresh intern, I was asked to run some simple errands. I needed to print some run sheets for the event, but we obviously don't have a printer. And so I had to go to the site manager's office at the Great Wall and use their printing machine. As soon as I got to the office, I saw the site manager slouched on the couch, giving extreme Nepo baby vibes. He was on his phone playing 王者荣耀, which is basically Chinese League of Legends, while the rest of his team was working at their desks. He told me to give him 5 minutes, and so I waited around for a bit to let him finish his game. And then he asked me what I was there for, and I told him that the team needed to print 15 run sheets. He agreed, he told me to hurry up, and then he left the office. Now, while I was printing with one of his team members, my team asked me to print some extra documents, about 60 pages of paper. And so I tried to get those in, but while I was printing them out, the printer broke. As me and one of his poor team members were trying to fix the printer, he comes back into the office and he's like, "Why are you still here?" And I told him, well, the team's asked me to print some more documents. And so I was trying to do that, but the printer broke. And he is livid. He immediately tells me that I'm not respecting his authority as the site manager. And he says, 你给我滚, which basically means get the f*** out. Now I'm trying to plead with him and say, we'll even pay for the paper. And bear in mind, we've already rented the venue at the Great Wall for a very large sum of money. And so he should be trying to help us as the operator of the venue. But he won't listen. It's like talking to a brick wall. And so unhappily, I leave the office. But at the door, I drop a snarky comment, which is 你真缺德. Basically, it means you lack a moral compass. Now, he hears that and he explodes. He's screaming at me at the door while I walk down the corridor trying to leave the office. And he's saying, "Get back here, what did you say to me? How dare you disrespect me?" And I'm just putting in my earphones pretending I can't hear him. I get back to my team who's on the bus and the mood is really somber and I know something's happened. The first thing they ask me is, what did you say to the site manager? 我跟他说他这么几张纸都不让我们打印，他很缺德. To which they say, well, great, because you said that, he's shut down the entire venue and no one can get into the Great Wall anymore. Bear in mind, this is at about 6 p.m, an hour out from the event starting. And so there are already people who have flown in from around the world in their tuxedos or ball gowns trying to get into the venue. And to make it worse, it's raining as well, so they're really unhappy. In the end, to fix this, I had to go to the front of the Great Wall and apologize in front of all these attendees locked out of the venue. Pretty embarrassing. So I lost the battle, but I guess I won the war because in the end it was a really successful event and everyone was really happy. So the moral of the story is, if there's anyone who's being a bit of a dickhead and you just want to say something to them politely, you can say 你真缺德.